Hi everyone, and welcome back to Queen Cheese Recipes. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a very easy cheesecake, but a very different and delicious cheesecake that doesn't require making a crust. It creates its own crust once it has baked. It is wonderful, and it is known as a Basque cheesecake, also known as a burnt cheesecake, because it is one of those cheesecakes that are baked at a very high temperature. It becomes very dark golden brown. It's rustic looking. It is perfect and wonderful and great to make while we are at home in these difficult times and we don't know what to do. So baking is definitely a good choice, and you are going to love this recipe, and so will your family. So now the ingredients we'll be needing here are of course some cream cheese. So I have 4 packages of cream cheese which are at room temperature. I took them out last night, so very important that they are at room temperature. You're also going to be needing some heavy cream, some sugar, some eggs and 1 egg yolk, some corn starch, not flour. You want to make sure that you don't confuse the corn starch with the corn flour because they are different. So definitely corn starch, and if you don't have corn starch on hand, no problem. You can use just regular all-purpose flour and it'll work perfect as well. What I also have in here is some salt, and that's about it. Once we are done our filling and we're ready to place it into our pan, I will show you how to prepare your springform pan and how long it will be baking for and all that jazz. So right now you want to make sure that you have your oven preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and let's move on to making our cheesecake. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is whip up our very cold heavy cream here. Okay, I'm just going to use my handheld electric whisk for this. And we are going to whip up our heavy cream until we have about medium peaks or so. And then I'll let you know what it looks like once we get there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place my whipped cream here in a separate bowl, and I'm going to set it aside, and we are going to use the same bowl, which is my white bowl here, and we are going to make the remaining of our cheesecake filling. Okay, so into the same bowl here, we are going to place all of our softened cream cheese here and our sugar. And once we have done that, we are going to whip these two together. So we're going to cream them together until we have a nice creamy mixture, probably about 2 minutes. I'll let you know what it looks like once we get there. So I'm just going to keep on placing everything in my bowl here. And then we will whip everything up. Okay, so this is what your mixture should look like. And now we will add in some vanilla extract. Now it is optional. I do suggest you add some in because it will add a little bit of extra flavor to it and make it even more wonderful. But if you don't want to add it in, it is totally fine. Or if you don't have any on hand, no worries, you don't have to add it in. But I didn't mention it in the beginning. It is optional, but I will add in a little bit here. Okay. And we will give this a quick mix. And now we will add in our eggs and our egg yolk one at a time and mix after each addition. Okay, so you want to make sure that you always scrape down the sides and bottom of your bowl as you're adding in all of your ingredients, making sure everything is well combined together and you don't have any little clumps of ingredients or cream cheese or anything like that. So now we will sift in our dry ingredients, which is our cornstarch and our salt. And just whisk until it's combined. And now with our spatula, we will fold in our whipped heavy cream. So we will fold in half at a time, being very gentle as you're folding it in so we don't lose all of the air that we produced in our heavy cream here. Okay, so this is what your cheesecake filling should look like. It is a nice, thick, and luscious filling. And now this is perfect. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our pan here. What I have is a 10-inch springform pan. You do need a large springform pan for this cheesecake. And you need to make sure that it is well greased with some nonstick spray. And then you want to place a large piece of parchment paper. You need the parchment paper coming out of the pan because the cheesecake will become very high, but then it will deflate once you remove it out of the oven, and it will slowly start to deflate a little bit more, and that is totally normal. And then once you have placed the large piece of parchment paper into your greased springform pan, you want to just grease your parchment paper a little bit, just making sure that nothing sticks and everything turns out perfect. And now what we are going to do is place our cheesecake filling into our pan, and then we are going to place it into our preheated oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour or 1 hour and 5 to 7 minutes, or when you notice that your cheesecake is a nice dark golden brown and it is slightly jiggly in the center. But most definitely I will let you know how long mine was in the oven for and what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so our cheesecake is ready to be baked. Now I definitely do suggest you place your springform pan on top of a cookie sheet, just to make sure that if any butter or anything seeps through the bottom of your pan, it won't dirty your oven and you will be safe. So now we will bake it, and then I will meet you right back here once it is completely baked. Okay, so my cheesecake baked for exactly 1 hour and 5 minutes. It is perfect, it is nice and dark, and that's exactly what it should look like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at room temperature until it has completely cooled to room temperature. So whatever time it takes, I will let you know once it has completely cooled. Once it has completely cooled, if you want to serve this or eat it cold, you can leave it in the fridge until it becomes completely chilled and eat it at that time. But I will be showing you what it looks like and tastes like at room temperature the whole time. So I'll meet you right back here when we are ready to serve. Okay, so my cheesecake was at room temperature on my counter on my cooling rack for exactly 5 hours. Now I just placed it on my cooling rack as I showed you the way it was, the way it came out of the oven, exactly as it is. You don't want to take anything out or remove the springform pan, nothing at all until it has completely cooled at room temperature. Now at this point you can most definitely place it in the fridge and eat it cold from the fridge, or you can eat it nice and lukewarm the way it is now, and it is just wonderful. It's custardy, it is just so delightful. So that is up to you. You can eat it whichever way you prefer. And now I'm just going to show you the texture here. It is so delicious and creamy. It almost tastes like a custard cheesecake. I can't even explain the flavor. It is so wonderful. It even has the flavor of kind of like a flan mixture in here. I can't explain it. It is so, so good, so wonderful, very delicious, and most definitely easy to put together, and you can have it done in no time. You can also leave it at room temperature overnight if you make it late at night and just serve it throughout the day, and it will be wonderful. It is so, so, so good. I have never had a cheesecake this delicious before. So that's about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. Share the recipe with your family and friends, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye, everyone.